stability. I want to talk about stability. And really, to be honest, I want to talk about stability because I'm thinking about it for myself, which tends to mean if I have an event coming up that I'm hosting, that it's coming through from the collective as well. So in this multi-layered existence that we're living in, stability feels really big energetically for me from what I'm tuning into right now. So as I'm thinking about it, I first wanted to explain, if you can think of the lower world occupies like our shadow self, parts of ourself that we have like what's the word, like dissociated from or fragmented pieces of us that we've left behind because of something that's happened or trauma, things like that. So these things occupy that lower realm, the shadow world. The middle world is where we are right now, existing in this human body. And then the upper realms is that linking to source and spirit and higher frequencies. For me, it's about coming down through these through the frequencies, I suppose you could call it. So back to the middle world. How do I show up here when I'm clearly not wanting to and I'm wanting to occupy other realms because it's more comfortable for me to be there? So how do I be here? How do I be here and teach people to move through these realms when I feel stuck and stagnant in one of them? Although there's a lot of healing going on, I know in time I travel again up and down, but sometimes it doesn't mean that I don't have my learnings and my stagnation in certain areas as well. And so as I come back down, I feel like intention is a really important piece of the puzzle. So as I work with intention, it's things that I know that ground me. So in this realm, I know my work always grounds me because I'm relating to someone else. I'm out of the way of my own stuff. I allow their stuff, it comes through me, it's not from me. And so I'm completely out of the way. And every time I work, I get grounded because I'm here and I'm doing that. So it's when I'm intentional, I come down and I start to build a new foundation. And sometimes when I've gone there and I've learnt different things or healing has occurred, as I come back, it looks different. And this is where people really tend to freak out and they'll go either right down to the lower realms and they'll swim around in their wounds and they'll be suppressing. But it's like, hey, we dove down there, we dissociated, and now it's time to come back, find that like level ground. And yeah, it might feel a little bit shaky because we've never been here before. We didn't have those lessons before now. We didn't have those learnings. But when we dissociate to our truth and we don't follow through and it shows us and parts of us that we're not trustworthy because we're not following the truth. We're not staying in our alignment, and where we start doing random weird behaviors that aren't serving us either. So what is the foundation and how can we be intentional with this new foundation? Because this is what we build from. So yes, it gets to look different. Yes, that's scary, but yes, is that not also exciting? So to find the things that keep you in touch with a feeling of stability is really important, and to be intentional when you're in the practice of those things. There's many things. There's nature. There's all those things, and breathing, all the things that can really bring you back. But at the end of the day, it's what is going to work for you and what circuit breaker you're going to need to come back and to, sometimes we have to be here earning a living, supporting children, and we need to still give ourselves the space to go into those places to get what healings and learnings we need, because we may be sick of that thing that keeps happening. And then once we have the realizations or the healing, it's to come back and implement it with stability. So this is the stability. It's in the embodiment process. That's what grounding is for me anyway. It's grounding into that new. So knowing that it could be completely terrifying because you haven't been here before, and it's gonna bring your wounds up. if it's in alignment to yourself and you're no longer seeking something, it's come to show you, to heal, to clear. And so you can be in that new sense of security, and to not have that that cycle on repeat. And because we're in this eclipse right now, it's that seems to be what's highlighted, that I've been noticing personally for me and for the collective when I tuned in. The last thing that I will speak to in relation to stability that I feel to speak to would be just knowing that you don't have control of the external. We have to travel different places and spaces, and once we just can understand that that's what we're doing, we're going there to receive something, to clear something, to shine a light on some darkness, whatever it is, that we go to those places, and then we always return. So the return, I believe, gets quicker the more we practice. We practice being in, this is what healing is for me. And we're all self-healers. People can lead you to answers, but at the end of the day, you've got to go into this stuff for yourself. You won't see it until it's time to see it. And so if you're surrounded by that, or that's coming up in your space, know that there's nothing you can do for that person. There's no awareness that you can really bring to make them see what you see. And so maybe your new foundation and this new stability that you're building doesn't include that. And that can be the lesson. That can be where it's at, you know. And that's what this time is about. It's about completing things and building that new foundation. My questions to you would be like, what foundation are you building for yourself? If you self-abandon, how can you stop doing that now? Stop doing that, because it's not serving you. And then if you're self-abandoning, everyone around you is not going to be learning either, because you're also giving them permission to treat you like an option. Think about what foundation you're creating and building. This is what my event is going to be largely about on Saturday, is to really step into that and release anything that no longer serves you, because it is really a time where we deserve to feel lighter than ever before, and where we don't need to carry this stuff into the future. And so it's on you to find that awareness, to go to those places, and to know that no one can really do it for you.